Sterling by Music Man made one of the absolute worst guitars I've ever reviewed. It was an absolute dumpster fire. It showed up, humiliated itself on camera, and slithered off in disgrace. But now they're back, claiming that they fixed everything. So, did they finally get it right? Or is this just another overpriced hunk of firewood riding on the name of a prog metal demigod worshipped by nerds who spend more time faking it on Instagram than ever playing shows or kissing girls? So, the last time I had a Sterling on the show, it was an absolute clusterfuck. We're talking set it on fire and salt the freaking earth levels of bad. The first string would fall off the fretboard just from thinking about a bend. And the trem system couldn't stay in tune for more than 10 seconds, especially if you started doing bends on the lower strings. What the fuck is that? And the whole thing felt like it had been inspected by a certified genius who used to work at a major American guitar manufacturer who are very famous for creating guitars that rhyme with the name Stress Mall. It was so fucking terrible. I called it the worst guitar that I'd ever reviewed on the show. And I meant every word of that. And at the time, it was. But then Harley Benton came along and said, "Hold my beer," and dropped their active line. But here's the rub. Sterling saw that video. They actually reached out to me afterwards, swearing up and down that they'd stepped up their game. Better quality control, better builds, and better final setups. And you know what? I'm not the kind of guy to hold a grudge. I believe in second chances and I believe in redemption. And I also believe in constantly improving your product. That's something the Japanese called Kaizen, and it's something we did at Chrysler every single day. And I'd like to see more guitar manufacturers bring in that style of manufacturing as well. Because try as we might, sometimes we just don't get it right at the first try. And the reason I'm so forgiving is because even Line 6 managed to get their shit together. They went from selling those fucking horrendous Spider amps, you know the ones your rhythm guitarists swore were studio quality while the rest of us rolled our eyes, and he insisted that I record it here in the studio despite having a rack full of world-class tube amps. Line 6 went from that travesty to releasing the Pod Go, which is actually pretty damn great. So yeah, companies can turn things around. And that's what I'm hoping happen here, because much like Schecter, LTD, and Hills, Sterling guitars are built overseas. This one comes out of Indonesia, and then they get their final inspection and setup done in California. And you can say what you want about import guitars, but Indonesian factories are absolutely crushing it these days. They've been quietly building some of the best sub-$1,500 guitars on the planet. Now, I can't say for sure which factory this came out of, but if I had to guess, it's one of the very big names. It's the kind of place that builds for major brands with serious reputations. And if that's the case, then this guitar should be nothing short of excellent. So today on Spectre Sound, we're going to learn a few things here. 1, did Sterling actually listen? Number 2, did they fix the problems? Number 3, or is this just another pretty face built for faking it on Instagram? Let's open the box and find out. And here it is out of the box. Wow. Okay, I just spent the last couple minutes tuning up and warming up because, yeah, every time I play on one of these things, all my skills just go right out the freaking window the minute I see a red light on. Anyway, okay, so we're out of the box here. The most important thing is I want to show is, hey, guess what? Wow, we can actually play notes on the first string and it doesn't drop off. Check that out. We can even bend. No problem. I know, really melodic. I'm not a great player here, but I just want to stress that point. And the other thing is we can actually use the trem. Check this out. still in tune. Amazing. Not the most sustain I've ever got on a drum system before, that's for sure, but the guitar does seem to be staying in tune. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the guitar sounds you're hearing right now, you can grab my brand new impulse response of the speaker I'm using, which is the brand new UK Vintage 30. After many, many years, they finally moved production back to England, and the new speakers are spectacular. I've got a great impulse response that's absolutely free. Links are in the description below. It's just my way of saying thank you for watching the show. Now here's the thing, this is John Petrucci's signature model. John Petrucci is a shred guitar player. I am not a shred guitar player. I'm only slightly mediocre and trying my best to get just a teensy bit better. But I know somebody who is a world-class shredder and is loved by millions of people around the world. Hit it!
Oh, what, you thought you were gonna get the Dream Theater guy?
Now, this guitar is amazing to sit with. I love all the beveled edges. It's got a great balance when you're sitting with it as well. It doesn't really run away from you, like down your leg or anything like that. But I want to see how this thing performs with the ultra important neck dive test. So that means we got to throw a strap on. Now this is a pretty slippery strap. This is actually designed from a used fire hose. This was came out of a fundraiser for firefighters for a few years back. Somebody at NAMM gave me that. Mr. Lauren, thank you very much for that, by the way. It's been a great strap, but it really does put the guitars to the test. Like, let's see what happens. Not bad. A little bit of slip, but nothing major. It's not like you're going to be fighting with it, that's for sure. And if you had something with like raw leather on the back, this would probably grip absolutely no problem. Once again, this one's pretty slippery. The trade-off being is if you had a wireless, you could do the Yngwie tosses, and people need to do way more of that these days because, come on, let's face it, a bunch of guys just staring at their fretboards going, "Ooh, look at how awesome I am," isn't fucking entertaining at all. Another thing I want to take a look at is the fingerprint magnet check. Because we've got this awesome blue-green finish. This has got to be one of the best color schemes I've had come in here. Guys, this is just beautiful. But not a fingerprint magnet, so that's super cool as well. It's a little bit, but it's not like, a gloss black or something like that where you're just going to see everything. So thumbs up on that. And I even made myself a little checklist of things we can do. Oh, right, we got to play some clean guitar. Tell you what, I'm a crap clean player, so let's bring in somebody who is. Take it away, Steve. Very cool. Thank you very much, Steve. Another thing that came up is output jack. Let's see how solid that is. Honestly, it's not the most solid output jack I've ever come across. You're definitely going to want to put your guitar cable through the strap hole here like this or something like that because this one might get away on you. Just be careful with that. I wish they'd maybe use a slightly tighter output jack. That's pretty much my only gripe so far. I've seen other guitars, far cheaper guitars, with more solid output jacks, so there is that. But on the upside, it's absolutely fine for carrying a signal. It's not struggling, it's not crackling, anything like that. Absolutely works just fine. Now, when it comes to guitar tone, what I gotta say, yep, it sure sounds like a guitar. But let's get an expert opinion on that. Hey, Steve, what do you think of the tone wood?
The tone wood? What the fuck is that? What?
Of course, the other really super important thing we got to remember about guitars, from what I've been reading in the comments anyway, is the piano lows. What do you think of the piano lows?
Are you on crack?
Yeah, piano lows. That's what I'm looking for when I'm playing metal riffs. Yeah, that really does the trick. All right, so what do I really think about this guitar? Let's give this, the Spectre Sound, 5-star breakdown. For packaging, gotta give it 4 out of 5 stars. It comes double boxed, which is great because FedEx did add a few speed holes along the way. Thankfully, the guitar survived without issue. It also includes this really awesome padded gig bag, all the necessary tools, and even a spare battery. So no complaints here. I just wish for this price, it did come with a hard shell case. But this isn't too bad either. Components, 4 stars. No gripes here, worth losing sleep over. You get locking tuners, a Sterling modern trem that actually holds its tune. No, it's not a Floyd, but hey, it does work. And I gotta say, this is kind of cool. This is a push-pull 12 dB boost circuit, which is basically like hitting your amp with a clean overdrive pedal. It's hot, so if you're running into amp sims on your computer, make sure your interface has enough headroom or you're gonna be clipping like crazy. Now, bonus points go for the easy access truss rod here right at the base of the neck. Seriously, why doesn't every guitar do this? It saves a ton of headaches and avoids the risk of stripping out an Allen key slot, which I may or may have not done on some very expensive guitars. Several times. Setup, 5 stars. This thing's absolutely perfect, right out of the box. No tweaks needed. Now, whoever did this setup deserves a raise and a slow clap. The action is dead on, the intonation spot on, it's just killer across the board. I am seriously blown away. Now, I just got a note here for whoever did do this setup, I gotta say. Whatever Sterling is paying you is probably nowhere near enough. Go demand a raise because you deserve one. Fit and finish, 5 stars. This guitar is freaking gorgeous. The blue-green burst here, this just looks stunning in person, not to mention it looks awesome on camera, and I couldn't find a single flaw. There's no sharp fret ends, no finish used, nothing weird at all. Everything feels dialed in and solid. For overall, gonna give it 4.5 stars. I think the only thing holding this back from being a 5-star guitar is the gig bag instead of a hard shell case. And the whammy bar doesn't quite do dive bombs like Floyd. However, this guitar is several orders of magnitude better than the last Petrucci model I've had in here. That guitar was plagued by a bad trem that wouldn't return to 0 unless you punched it. And the first string wasn't set correctly, so it would fall off the fretboard. With this, it's like Sterling was actually listening to what I was saying, took it to heart and said, okay, let's do better. Because everything that was wrong with that old model is right with this one. And at $12.99, it had better be, because that's not cheap for a guitar that's made in Indonesia. To all the companies out there, if you're asking for those kind of prices, given what you're competing with, you'd better be able to deliver the goods. And I can happily say that yes, they crushed it on this one. They actually listened. It's not every day that I get everything that I ask for. Hell, I've been begging bass players to learn the songs before they come in the studio since 1998, and I'm still waiting for that to happen. But credit where credit's due. Sterling watched my video, got the message, and actually fixed the damn problems. This fixes every single complaint I had and tops it off with a flawless setup. The tuning's rock solid, the playability is miles ahead of the last one, and it actually feels like somebody gave a flying fuck during the final inspection. I am thoroughly impressed with what Sterling's building in 2025. And for what they're asking, it had better be great, because it's definitely not the cheapest option out there. However, you do get a seriously awesome guitar for that kind of money. I'm looking forward to keeping this one in the studio because it's just so damn comfortable, and the wider fretboard here is great if you're a fat-fingered player just like me. Now, if you like the guitar sounds that you're hearing on this video, that's because I've been using the brand new made in UK version of the Celestion Vintage 30. Watch this video right here and I'll show you exactly why they sound so great and how you can get the same sound for absolutely free.